afternoon everyone, welcome to Jandara. I'm Gerwin and it's a bit windy today. I thought I'd do a garden tour, and we're right on the winter equinox, so the shortest day of the year here in southeast Queensland, and I thought I'd give you a bit of a tour and show you what we've been up to. We actually got a fair bit done this morning with the whole family moving pots and everything around because we brought all the blueberries over here. But I'll show you what's going on. Bed's been progressing quite significantly in the last week. At the moment it's looking a lot more impressive because I've brought all my pots, or not all my pots, but a lot of the pots from over near the house over here as well. Just because they needed more sun and I wanted to get the pots away from the house so I wasn't watering over at the house anymore because I want to get that concrete dry. So got an olive tree here. So this is where the garden's kind of starting. So we've got some vetiver grass that I've planted over there, but it's only really little, so you probably won't be able to see it. It's only a little seedling at the moment. Got some gotcha cola that I've planted, blueberries in the ground, and then we've got the macadamias and a couple of frangipanis, some ponytails, macadamia, dragon fruit, taro that I brought up from the dam. There's a German chamomile in there under the mulch somewhere. I've probably over mulched it. I've totally over mulched it. It kind of gets covered when you water it. But there's the German chamomile. Got a little finger lime which I need to pot. I need to repot the macadamias and the finger limes and the mango. Ideally I'd like to get them in the ground, but I haven't got a spot ready for them yet. Got a Monstera delicioso over there. Some mulberry that's lost all its leaves, some sheep sorrel, blueberry comfrey, some more rosemary, some more of the same. We've got some agapanthus is what I've sown in those two pots. So all of the pots used to be under the patio, so I'm expecting these to look really sad tomorrow because they've had a massive culture shock. See, I've got some Sambagnewa here, which is also known as longevity spinach. I thought I'd lost it, but I found a little cutting, so hopefully that takes off and I can start propagating it again. I've just put some daffodil bulbs, I think it was daffodil bulbs, in here, along with the guava, leukina tree, an elderberry cutting. I was told that's a rosella, some self-heal, which has also been a little bit buried by mulch. But it is there. It's got some green out of the mulch. An aloe vera pineapple. Now that pineapple, those pineapples that I've got in here are actually ones that I propagated from pineapples I bought from the shops. So I just chopped the top off and put the top in the ground. And it's doing really, really well. I did that as part of Shed Wars a couple of years ago, I think. If I remember, I'll try and put a link up there. Anyway, another blueberry. So we've got some borage here, hopefully that's going to take off. Some more bulbs, those ones are irises I believe. An ice cream bean tree, I'm really looking forward to that one fruiting and growing bigger. That one's supposed to be a pioneer species, so it grows quickly and it's a nitrogen fixer, so it's got the bean pods on it and it's supposed to be really tasty. So yeah, got some plantain there, more dragon fruit, that's a white dragon fruit, that one. I've put some pigeon pea seeds along here as well, so hopefully they'll come up. We've got some white yarrow here and some more aloe vera there, some Okinawa spinach, so I'll be able to take some cuttings off that and propagate it soon. Another blueberry, strawberry and some asparagus. Asparagus, that really needs to come out of the ground. I'm thinking I'm going to put that over near the grapevines. Got some wormwood here and some lamandra grass. Now I've popped a little lavender in here. It's kind of a bit hard to see. It was a big plant out the back, but it got whippersnipped when someone came to help us mow. And hopefully I can get it to come back to life. Another dragon fruit, some lemongrass, some ashwagandha. I'm really excited about this one. Also known as Withinia or Indian ginseng, which I didn't know. More aloe vera, another leukina, and some more lemongrass. And then we've got some more pots over here. So I've got all my blueberries. Not all of them are in pots anymore because some of them are in the ground. Got another ponytail. I love my ponytails. Some canna lily, also known as Queensland arrowroot, and this has got a massive bulb on it. I need to get this out of the pot. It can't stay in there. That is a root crop and it should not be in a pot, but I haven't found a good spot to put it yet. I'm thinking I might put it over there once the goats are finished doing their thing and we've moved them to another spot. So another blueberry, I've had that one for a couple of years now. Oh, one thing is exciting. Look at this. One of my blueberries, I hope you can see that, starting to flower. I'm really excited. Actually, I got a couple there, I think. I think there was one over here too that was starting to flower. So there's at least 2 different varieties of blueberries. I can't remember what they were. This one has a tag, so it's just a blueberry. That's not a very helpful tag, is it? So that's a deciduous mulberry. And pigeon pea, and we've got a moringa there at the back with some Malabar spinach in the bottom. So it's deciduous as well, so it's doing quite well considering it's winter. I've got a Emperor Mandarin, that's Jonathan's, and then we've got another mulberry and a blood orange, which is Matthew's. Then we've got over here with the goats, my lovely goats, which are doing a lovely job cleaning up the paddock and turning grass into baby goats and perpetually, hopefully, milk. I'm hoping they're pregnant, or one of them I'm hoping is pregnant. They're having fun in here. You can't really see them, but they're over there. Over here, my mulberry is starting to drop its leaves now, which is fantastic. Well, it's not fantastic, it's just expected at this time of year. Down here, I think they might be some more irises popped up. I've forgotten what I planted there. I've got a red yarrow here and comfrey. I've taken heaps of that away and used it under a fruit tree somewhere. Where did I put that? No, I put that around the mulberry out of the dam. I'm not going to go out to the dam today, so you might have to look at one of those previous videos. It's another one of my moringas. I planted this one probably about 2 months ago now, and it hasn't looked back. I was really worried about it for a while because I disturbed the roots quite badly, as in I broke them, because I picked up the pot and the pot had grown through the pot into the ground, and of course I lifted it up. So I'm really pleased that that survived. The spaghetti squash is not liking the cold weather. The nasturtium's doing really well, and the comfrey's starting to do well over here. And here's my goats come to say hello. There's Miss Evie. Miss Evie. And Miss Gwen's over there somewhere still, I think. Oh, yeah, there she is. She's in the shade. There's Miss Evie. Hopefully she's pregnant, although I'm not seeing a lot of signs. Her udders don't seem to be doing much, and the belly doesn't seem to be doing much either, which is a bit disappointing. Gwen is not looking pregnant at all, which is fantastic, because she is too little. She's only 10 months old now, so I really wouldn't have wanted her to be around the buck anyway just yet. So, but time will tell whether or not Evie's got any kids in that there belly, and if she hasn't, it's not a huge drama. We'll just get a buck at some point, which is all good. So over here, so this paddock is basically just the girls are cleaning it up, and then we'll move them onto another patch. We've mowed down the weedy stuff that they didn't eat in here when we moved them, and there's Lockyer over there, which is doing quite well. That's about the size of it for out here. I haven't got much happening in the way of the garden out here. These are my little goat shelters, come water can storage. I hope that wind's not making this really hard for you to hear. I did have a tree planted in here at one point, but the goats ate it. Not these goats, the previous goats. But I've put in some pigeon pea seeds and some comfrey seeds. At the moment it looks like it's just cobbler's pegs that are coming up, so I'm going to have to get in there and weed it at some point. I did have a mango in here, but the previous goats ate it. I also had a pigeon pea, and they ate that too. But the Lockyer doing well, and I'm taking down branches and giving it to the girls, so they've got some cuttings to eat. There are some pigeon pea seeds in there, though, so like, there's a pod just here. So that's a pigeon pea pod. See if I can get the seed out without dropping it, huh? So there are 3 seeds, but there's probably only one there that's actually viable. So I'd say, so that one would be viable. That one, I just dropped one on the ground. That would be viable, so I'll stick that in there. If it shoots, wonderful. If not, not a huge drama. There are some other seed pods up there. Leukemia's got seeds all over it, so that's all good. Okay, so I'll go for a wander out the side down near the milk stand, huh? I've got all sorts of things in here down beside the milk stand, which is not ready for milking. And I've also got a massive pile of wood chips over there from the trees being chopped down, which I'm absolutely stoked about. The wood chips, that is, and the trees being gone for that matter. So we've got a leukemia here that I've chopped right back and given to the goats. Got some comfrey, which is doing really well, some citronella, and the pigeon pea. I'm just waiting for all of those lovely flowers over there. I'm not sure if you can see them all that well. See if I can bring this branch down for you to have a look at. So that's the pigeon pea flowers. See if I can focus a bit better. Is it fluttering all over the place with the wind? So that's the pigeon pea flower. So I'm just going to wait for it to produce some more seed pods, and then I'll trim this back down to give it to the goats. There's also some Monsterio Delicio in there. Got some more Leukemia in here, and the Monsterio Delicio again. So this is the mother plant. I accidentally put the pot on the ground and it rooted into the ground, so it's staying there. I do have a Queensland tree spinach here, but it's not really doing anything at the moment. I need to take some more cuttings. I've got some cuttings of it growing in the aquaponics, which is wonderful. I've got some more dragon fruit along there. Not a lot else happening out here. This garden has been completely neglected and forgotten since before I broke my leg. So yeah, it needs a bit of work. There's some lemongrass in there somewhere too. There's some lemongrass. So yeah, and oh, let's have a look at, go have a look near the roosters. Here we got all of the trees chopped down from around the backyard because they were creating A, too much shade for the clothesline, and B, it was dropping sooty stuff all over the ground and anything that was underneath it, and nothing had a chance of growing. So I've got some nasturtiums here. These ones are self-perpetuating from a plant that I planted about 2 years ago now. My moringa, this one is not doing so well. It was not getting enough sun, and when they were chopping the trees down they accidentally pulled it out of the ground, so I had to replant it. Got a little leukemia here as well. The leaves are very similar to with the leukemia and moringa. Hopefully next time I'll be able to show you a little bit more how they differ. I've got another leukemia over there as well. That's just a disaster area, cobbler's heap over there. Hopefully at some point I will actually work on that tree line and probably turn it into a bit of a food foresty area over there. My mandalime is producing lots of limes, mandalimey type things. We don't really like the flavour. I'm considering grafting another citrus onto it because it's clearly got a good root structure. It could very well be the rootstock that's come back. Over here I've got some tansy that I've only just recently planted, just a little seedling. My elderberry, the moringa I had here died, and these 3 gorgeous roosters. These ones were hand raised, so they're really nice roosters. Here I've got some cassava. It's a root crop, along with some comfrey. It's doing really well. Anita from Happy Days Farm helped me plant these while my leg was still not in great shape. Some more comfrey there, so not a lot happening here, but this area has been in complete shade until we got those trees chopped down, so I've got a lot of work to do all over the place. Let's go have a look over there. Oh, actually I do have a comfrey in this spot. So this bed here has been completely chopped back with all the native trees. I did have a passion fruit growing there, As to whether or not it's still alive or not, I don't know. It wasn't looking very green before the trees came down. But yeah, so let's go over here. We've got the elderberries that I took some cuttings from a couple of weeks ago. And they're doing okay. Mostly I pruned it back because there were a lot of, I still missed a couple, some, so lots of dead branches. Because this has been really, everything has been really badly neglected whilst I wasn't able to get out here. Now I'm starting to get back on my feet and starting to have a little bit more energy again. Things are going well. Those two boys, again, Rhode Island Red Roosters that I hatched just before I broke my leg. So yeah, those boys are over 12 months old now. So yes, and we come around here. I have just planted over near the stables some canna lily. It's not as big as that big one that I have, but I've planted this here, so some canna lily here. It is a canna lily edgeless, but it's only a small root, as well as some pigeon pea over there. I don't know if you can see that, but yeah, this is starting to do quite well. So this will create a nice fodder for the goats for when I've got them in here for when they've kidded or some other reason I need to have them here. So I did have them here for a bit. We've had this paddock slashed, so that's lots of great organic matter going straight down onto the soil, which will feed all the microbiome and everything in there. So let's go for a wander. I'll just go for a wander up to the top of there so you can see what the dam's looking like from this side. This is all the grass on the paddocks. It's all been slashed and just laying down nicely, creating some lovely organic matter. It's going to feed this soil beautifully and hopefully help it grow back with a much nicer paddock for when we get some livestock back out here again. It'll happen eventually. I don't show you the dam from this angle very often, do I? The mulberry that I mulched the other day is just over there, and that's that lovely area over there that I do a lot of stuff on. But that's the pond. It's doing well. Let's go back to the house. We might go have a look at the bananas, shall we? Before I get to the bananas, this is where we used to have the aquaponics set up, and a volunteer pumpkin. And there's one over here that I think will make John from Willigrow very disappointed and upset. Look at that bad boy in there. Look at that. That thing's going to weigh a reasonable amount of, quite a lot of kilos, that one. And being that I'm on Team Aquarius, it'll make Robert happy and John from Willigrow unhappy. So another pumpkin there. And another pumpkin there. This vine isn't actually producing a huge amount, but it's been completely neglected and it's a complete volunteer. These new vines coming out here seem to have a lot more flowers, but most of them look like they're male. Every time I come out here there are only male flowers, so I haven't been able to fertilise any. But it's a volunteer. It's nice. It's my bananas, they're not doing real great, but they're still alive. We did get one bunch of bananas off the Cavendish. The dwarf one hasn't given us anything, and I can't remember what the variety is. But yeah, they're doing okay. I'm planning on taking some suckers off them and transplanting them around other places of the property. So we've got a lovely little fire pit over there. Wonderful times around the fire so often. Last few weeks, making some lovely ash and charcoal for the garden, as well as spending some good family time around the fire, toasting marshmallows and that sort of thing. We've been having lots of fun. Let's have a look at the grapevines. The vine I got from Sandy Toes is not looking all that great, but it's winter and grapes are deciduous, so I was expecting it to lose its leaf, but it's still sad, and I'm looking forward to spring and hoping that it's going to spring back. Anyway, got a couple. The strawberries are doing well, the comfrey's doing well, as is a batch of grass. The asparagus is doing well. Looks like it's sending out a new frond, and that strawberry's doing well. I've got a comfrey and another grapevine over there. I really need to prune that one back because it's just scraggly and messy. The chickens are doing well. They're moving around, fertilising the grass and doing a wonderful job. And I've got another moringa up here near the container house, which is our temporary accommodation at the moment. Oh, it has been for nearly 2 years, I think. So this moringa is doing well. It's also got a papaya and some Malabar spinach and some oregano and some Okinawa spinach there, so lots of, and a pineapple. And then my hydrangea with my garden mint. And then around the corner here, there's not as much here as there was because I put it out all over the garden. So I still got another dragon fruit. Got some native mint. There's some cuttings. Oh, these are the elderberry cuttings that I took the other day. You can see they're starting to root up nicely. Lots of little root buds. I actually gave a lot of those away at the crop swap and swapped it for some kale and some other things. So I got some comfrey cuttings in here, some strawberries, my moringa. You're doing okay. What else have we got? Oh, over here in the pot right next to the house, I've got some asparagus. Put some bulbs in there. My mushrooms, I think, are finished, so I'm going to use those as compost soon. Not much growing there. A few bits and bobs over here. My canna lilies here. I've got some various herbs in this. I've got my chocolate mint there. I've got some lemon balm there. Some dill. Some chard, but it's not doing very well. I need to get this out in the sun, so I'm probably going to pop it over there with the other ones. Now the ponytail. I've put a tomato in a pot along with a pineapple that's nearly dead. Over here I've got some aloe vera growing, and we've got a pup on there, which is really great. And these ones are some cuttings I got from the gentleman I got the goats from. So I know there's tree marigold, and I can't remember what the other one is, but they're really good fodder for the goats. I think it's bitter leaf or something is the other one, I think. Something like that. So let's have a look at the aquaponics. The aquaponics is doing really well considering it's the middle of winter. Not feeding the fish at the moment, so occasionally I'm putting some seaweed solution or some sea salt in there. The holy basil is still chugging along. I did chop it right back and dehydrate a heap of that, but it's doing really well. The turmeric hasn't died back yet. It's died back a little bit, but it's still doing quite well. My celery is starting to do fantastically, so yeah, really pleased with that. I got a papaya in here at the moment just because I could. I've chopped back the mushroom plant a little bit too much, so it's not doing so well. Put a couple of peas in here that I got for my birthday. Still got a bit of basil, but it's not liking the cold. More peas. This celery is doing fantastically. More peas and some silver beet. We're getting ready to put another bed on because I just don't have enough growing space. Don't think you can ever have too much, can you? A pea, some more peas. My spinach died. The beetroot's not looking great, but it's not looking terrible either. And some Okinawa spinach. That's a cutting of the longevity spinach. Strawberries. Look at the strawberries. Oh, look at that. Oh, she's ready to pick. I think I'm going to have that. Definitely going to have that one. It's going to be tasty. Shh, don't tell anyone. I have heaps more strawberries on soon. It's just lots of flowers. Lots of strawberries set. So they're doing really well in the aquaponics. Oh, I put some Brazilian spinach in there. So I got that with my plants for my birthday. And some parsley. More strawberries. I got some beans for my birthday as well. The leeks that I got from the shops, chop off and stuck them in here. Got some kangkong. So hopefully it'll start to go well soon. Some lettuce. Some watercress, I believe. And some brownie. I think that's about it. I think that's all we've got going on at the moment. Let's see if we can see the fish, shall we? Let's see whether they're maybe easy to see or not. No, they're hiding. Oh, they're over there. Can you see that big guy over there? Those fish are quite big. They're about 2-year-old, I think. And these ones are the fingerlings that we got a few months ago. I don't know if you can see any. Sorry, they're very little. It's quite dark in there. There's a fair bit of reflection. I might have to get my... I'll get the whole thing over there this time. I hope you got to see them anyway. They're still quite small, but they're not eating at the moment because the temperature's just too cold. Oh yeah, so that's the update. You might be able to see the eyes are still quite puffy and dry and everything from the graves, and also very dry and scratchy. And I'm very light sensitive, hence the glasses most of the time. But I'm really happy with how well the garden's going. It's been great to get back out in the garden and start getting things growing again and things finally be happening. But yeah, I'm going to go put some eye drops in my eyes because they're a bit dry and a bit scratchy. And I will catch you in the next video. Bless you. Remember, you're either ripe and rotting and you're green and growing. I nearly forgot. I'll catch you in the comments section. Have a great day.